Mama?
For just 16 runs at a very crucial time of the innings, just put paid to whatever hopes that the Royals harbored. Well, now when the Biratnagar Kings come out to bat, they need 156 for 20 overs, from 20 overs, and the kind of batting lineup that they have up front, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. They need to just play very smart cricket.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with your synopsis on the whole there, Faz. I think it's advantage to the chasing side for a couple of reasons. There are going to be a few scars for the Royals after the dominance of du Plessis and Heazlett and Guptill, and then the finishing touches from Platiche GC the other day. I know it was a very different kind of occasion, and the Royals in essence had nothing to play for that day. And they had many changes, 5 for this evening. But you do sense as though the Kings will be thinking, well, we chased down that 147 that they made just 3 days ago. Well, over 8 overs to spare. They've got a similar-ish total on a similar-ish surface. We're not just going to do it, we're going to do it again and do it rapidly. And that man will hold an awful lot of the key to this chase. Faf du Plessis loving every second of being here in Nepal. He's been waxing lyrical about the country and his time here and the people and the scenery, and it is great to have him here. Look at those numbers, best part of 12,000 T20 runs. Neil again opening the batting, not with Scotland's George Munsey, who's missing out for the 2nd consecutive game, but Australia's Sam Heazlett, who played very nicely himself. That 51 that he made was somewhat overshadowed. I thought he played ever so well, and they'll have the left-hand, right-hand combination to start with.
Well, sometimes it works in your favor, doesn't it? When you have a superior player at the other end, gives you the opportunity to stay under the radar, just quietly go ahead and do things. Scotty Kugelheim will be bowling with a lot of heat and with his tail up. Very interestingly, I've seen his father play, Andrew, at Bangalore. I remember walking into the stadium and I saw Richard Hadley on the verge of history. 373 wickets is what he needed, and I walked in and saw Arun Lal caught by Kugelheim off the bowling of Sir Richard Hadley. How's that for memory?
Chris Kugelheim, you talk about connections. He was an overseas pro at my club in Dublin for 2 years, and I know his dad very well. Legend of Pembroke Cricket Club in Dublin. Here we go, we're all set. The big difference for the Royals bowling attack, they didn't have Kugelheim the other night. They do have him today, and he is going to fire up. Can he strike early? The Royals need him to. He may well have struck from the very first ball. Oh, yes! Dipendra Singh with the catch, Kugelheim with the dismissal. What an extraordinary stroke from the first delivery. Talk about playing the occasion and not the game. Heazlett's gone for a golden duck.
What a great game, what a great leveler this is. High on the bat, on the splice of the bat, the very first delivery. And who is it but that man, Dipendra Singh and Scotty Kugelheim. There was space, there was bounce. Hit him high on the bat, gone for a golden duck. The Kings now are none for one.
स्क्रीन पनि हिँड्दै सुन्नु म बोल्या पनि हिँड्दै सुन्नु माइक्रोफोन अन गरेर
He's in much earlier than he would have liked. Martin Guptill. What a roar that wicket was greeted with by the Sudur Pashim faithful. They rested Kugelheim for that final group game. Talk of revenge, redemption. Royals strike early. Half a chance, non-striker's end. Oh, he's got to go. Guptill's not running at full flow. Remember, he was run out by Irie in the fixture a couple of days ago. This might have been close if he could have got it released quicker.
Well, I'm sure they've spoken about this in their team meeting to make him run single, stay at the edge of the circle and tempt him to take that single, because he's not going to run those runs hard. We know that he's got a hamstring injury. You want to stretch him to the limit.
Looked like 70% he was running at there. It's a quad injury. Hamstring last year, quad this year. And certainly he's nursing it. You can see he's nursing it. Now, how will Faf du Plessis react to this pressure cooker environment? He's called the fans simply magnificent a couple of days ago. Couldn't get over the fervour and the noise and the fanaticism and the passion and the knowledge. Look at that setting. Kuggeleijn to du Plessis.
Hello.
What an atmosphere. It's quite brilliant. We're expecting a lot from tonight, Faz, weren't we? But I'll tell you something, this is very special indeed. Let's hope we have a thrilling game to befit the marvellous atmosphere that the fans are making here. Beauty, well bowled. Bit difference facing Kuggeleijn from a few nights ago.
Well, absolute peach of a delivery, exactly where an opening batsman does not want it to be pitched. There it is, it's just the back of the length, searching, completely squared up. One of the best in the business. Faf du Plessis had very little clue about that. You're talking about the noise levels, Andrew. I mean, these are almost the noise and the din really of something like a jet. I think 115 or 120 decibels is what the jet flies at. So this is pretty close to that.
Well bowled, right on the money. Singh isn't able to prevent du Plessis getting off the mark. The other thing you've got to remember, across the two seasons of this Nepal Premier League, it's Kuggeleijn who's got more wickets than anyone, now 26. Not quite as threatening as he was last year, but still very, very effective and a real spearhead of this Royals attack.
Well, what I like about him is he's always asking the right questions. He's always in the right areas, just on or outside that off stump. Very uncomfortable length for a right-handed batsman. Hence, he's in that wickets column all the time. He's picked up wickets in every game except one.
9 in the season to go with the 17, the leading wicket taker from last season. Very well dealt with by Guptill. Talk me through this first delivery. Is this a brain fade from Heazlett in terms of the noise and the cauldron-like atmosphere, or what's happened?
Well, I think he was just overawed by the occasion. I think he didn't really expect it. He should have just gone back, patted it for a single. Just a very wrong choice of shots there. Perhaps if you ask him, he'll say certainly didn't want to play that.
I think it's a brain fade. It's a complete misidentification of the length. It's not even close to short enough to pull. Yes, he's skiddy, he's slippery, he's difficult to deal with, Kuggeleijn, but unless there was a discussion, okay, we're going to bat the exact same way as we did 3 days ago when we chased it down in 12 overs. Feels like a crazy shot. Mixed up, run out chance. Can they hold their nerve? Guptill's gone. And the Royals have 2 in the first over. And they simply can't hear each other out there. They might have played in World Cups and IPLs. They can't handle noise like here in Nepal.
Well, a big mix-up. It can happen to the best in the business. Martin Guptill and Faf du Plessis, who would have said that they would be involved in such a mix-up? But 3 for 2 in the first over. Well, certainly, let's take a look at that. No intention of running was Faf du Plessis. And what was Martin Guptill doing? He just ran without even looking at Faf du Plessis. He's gone for a couple of runs, and the Kings now are in real trouble at 3 for 2.
possibly the most extraordinary first over, certainly of the season, maybe in the history of the Nepal Premier League. A wicket from the first ball due to a very injudicious shot, and then a run out that, well, you and I don't think we're going to be able to explain. The only thing I can maybe think of is a complete lack of being able to hear each other or communicate with each other. Guptill set off like he was just cantering a single. Du Plessis hardly even moved, and Guptill it was who was never getting back. Credit to Isham Pandey, who held his nerve well. And somehow the Royals are right on top as Harmeet Singh will open the bowling. And a change of the order, because we would have expected Bashir Ahmed or Lokesh Bam out here, but Naran Bhatta, who took that incredible catch, he comes to the crease and he's gone. It's 3 and 7 balls. What's happening out there? Chaos, absolute chaos, and the Royals are abuzz.
Well, the Royals all over the Biratnagar Kings like a rash. They couldn't have asked for a better start here. This first half or first quarter of the run chase is completely gone awry. Harmeet Singh opening the bowling from the other end, and what a good catch by Scott Kugelheim. Harmeet Singh, I'm the man, I've done it, he says, and Irie there is over the moon. They're really back in the hunt. Naren Bhatta gone for a first ball golden duck, 3 for 3 in the second.
Bashir Ahmed to the crease at number 5. We expected him up the order from there. Lokesh Bam is still being held back. The most extraordinary start I can remember in Nepal Premier League history. Chaos reigning right now at the TU. Big appeal, but it's hit him outside the line. Good umpiring.
Oh, what a sensational game we've had. It's qualifier 1, best 2 teams out there on the park, and very, very schoolboyish kind of errors on the part of some of the best in the business.
Leg slip comes into place. Beautifully bowled. There's a great saying from coaching: play the game and not the occasion. What happened here?
Well, there it is. Straight away, Faf du Plessis says no. I think he didn't hear it in the crowd. He didn't look at the man. Neither did he look at the fielder. He just put his head down and just continued running. And hence, a very, very unfortunate dismissal for the Biratnagar Kings. They've lost one of their best players.
Harmeet Singh has it on a string. I said Harmeet String. He's got it on a string, does Harmeet. And then first ball, Naran Bhatta promoted up the order. Where's he trying to hit this? I don't know. Straight to backward point. Remarkable start. 7 deliveries, 3 wickets. The Kings have to find a way to rebuild.
Well, if you see, the mistake that he's made is very, very elementary. When you're looking to cut the ball, it's always a shot that you hit from top to bottom. Here he's hitting the ball deliberately in the air. Take a look at that. He goes underneath that, so it has to go in the air. So that is a real technical problem there that Naren Bhatta faced. He swung away, just breaking the shackles. Will get the boundary. The first boundary for Basir. He's their main man now. 2 done, 7 for 3.
Incredible start to this chase. They certainly have the quality to come back into this. Du Plessis, of course, has all that experience around the world. Bashir Ahmed, what a great stage for him to again show why he's the kind of gritty cricketer that the national side needs. Lokesh Bam, Pratish GC, and Joshi to come. Extension of the arms from Du Plessis, has width on offer, pounces on that width and gets 4 back-to-back boundaries across the 2 overs.
Well, that's meat and drink for someone of the class of Faf du Plessis. You pitch there, you're going to pay for it, you're in trouble straight away. He gave him the width to free his arms. The length was not great, the line was fine. He needs to come closer to that off stump, and he needs to keep it in those nice hard lengths. Push him on the back foot.
I know you don't get much movement from the modern white balls, particularly with the dew under the floodlights. I would like to see the slip still in, though. You couldn't have thought of a better start. I know you just conceded 2 boundaries, but you get Du Plessis here in the power play. You might get the game with it. Go for the kill, Dipender Singh Airi. Keep attacking.
Well, I completely agree with you, Andrew. You need to get Faf du Plessis out, and if you look at him, he's a little fidgety out there. You can see a nervous energy around him. He's lost 3 big guns. They're back in the hut. He was a part of the run out, so he's going to feel a little nervous out there. So a little nervous poke outside that off stump, you don't want it. You don't want that edge to go a begging.
Dream start for the Royals, but still plenty of time for the Kings to come back. Now, what happened in these first 7 deliveries, well, probably defies description. The first ball, I don't understand the shot from Heaslett unless it's a complete misread of the length. Airi takes the easiest of catches, a crazy run it, and look at Du Plessis' reaction. Where are you going, Martin Guptill, with all that experience? There was never a run there, and then another first bowler and a simple catch for Kuggelein at backward point. It's given the Royals a big insight into this game. They can't believe it on the side.
Well, 3 really very ordinary pieces of cricket. You don't expect that from a team such as the Biratnagar Kings. None of them had anything to do with the bowler. Everything was an error from the batsman. Brilliant bowling. You can see the kind of pace, the kind of bounce that he's deriving from a benign surface such as this.
Yeah, and look, the reality is every single fan of whichever franchise here in Nepal has a little eye on February, has an eye on that T20 World Cup. And that's what the Nepali batters are going to have to get used to come Wankhede, come travelling to that T20 World Cup against England, against West Indies, against Bangladesh. Think about their much wanted pace attack. Up at around 140 kilometres an hour. And now a play and a miss. I think Bashir Ahmed's a fantastic player of spin, but like many domestic batters, it can be tough against that extreme pace.
You make a very, very pertinent point here, Andrew, and I've been drilling this point into a lot of the cricketers that I've been talking to about Nepalese cricket. They're playing bowling at 120, 125 kilometers an hour. Scotty Kuggelein is upped it to about 135. You'll get more than 135, 145 Ks when they go into the World Cup. So they have to simulate those situations.
Another play and a miss. Brilliant finish to the over from Kuggelein with 3 dots. Will Airi keep him going? It's 12 for 3. Well, maybe just a half a moment to reflect in the midst of this great battle between 2 fantastic sides, the best 2 in the tournament in the group stages this season, as to the achievement of completing this stadium, getting these floodlights done at the 11th hour, just in time. We had some discussions of that lovely evening with Carlos Brathwaite last night, and the development across
a year into this second season of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League has been phenomenal. We now have the grandest of stages for them. Just wide of Harmeet Singh. That's the last thing they could have afforded as Irie sprints in and overruns it. But we have the grandest of stages, don't we, now, for the domestic game here in Nepal. And let's hope we get a thrilling 4 games to round out a great season.
18 wickets in his 13th game, 5.6 is the economy. This is spread over 2 seasons. Rasmus, 12 innings and 14 wickets. How well did he bowl throughout the season this year? I didn't get the chance to see him last year, but he's bowled brilliantly. Real utility cricketer in your team.
I did hear a little rumour the Gorkhas might be trying to get him back for tomorrow from the ILT20. I'm not sure it's true, but you never know. Yeah, the only reason Lamachani's not at the top of that list, which he is for this season, is he was a bit more expensive last year. But I actually thought the Royals played him well tonight. I know he bowled beautifully, 4 overs, none for 16, but tactically they got that right. And that's why they have 155 on the board.
Well, Sandeep Lamachani has really bowled well this season, Andrew. I like the way the ball is coming out of his hands. He's bowling with the finger. He's not bowling with the wrist as well. 15 wickets of 7 matches at an average of 9.5 and an economy of 5.1 is tremendous stuff. And that will really go down well when Stuart Law and the selectors sit down to pick that World Cup team.
Well, I think there's no doubt that it won't just be the Nepal T20 World Cup squad that he's thinking of. He might be thinking of, can I have a good World Cup, get back to the IPL.
Well, I don't know whether it'll happen or not, but I'm a scout in one of the IPL teams, and I've already recommended Sandeep Lamachani. So if he does well in the World Cup, you never know. With the IPL auction on, there could be you could see him once again in the IPL.
He's had a great season. He's been outstanding. And big turnaround for the Kings from last year, where they missed the playoffs. They were really unlucky last season, though, because they had plenty of good performances, but they just came out up short in the critical moments, including that first and only super over we ever had in the Nepal Premier League. Good over this from Harmeet Singh, probing away. And finishes it strongly. Just the 3 from it. It's 15 for 3.
May I request all dear spectators to please put your mobile flashlight on. Please.
"22 minutes it took to sell the tickets out for tonight, and I believe tomorrow is already a sellout, or if it's not, it's very close to it. At Kalti apps where you can get those tickets, and if not, enjoy every ball of it with us live around the world on Star Sports, on Kantapur TV Max HD here in Nepal. Fan code, and of course the Dish Home Go app around the world. And I love that when they get the floodlight or the torches on. And they were singing along there to Rato Rachandra Surya, the Nepali national song, the one that the national team sing after every win. As this is going to be a critical spell. Delighted to see him back in the 11. He's a young bowler with real promise. One of probably 4 or 5 cricketers who've put their hands up to say to Stuart Law, I could be in the mix for February. Faf du Plessis likes the pace on the ball from Hemant Dami, finds the gap and gets a boundary to start the young man's spell.
Well, I think a little error on the part of Dipendra Singh Iyer here. You don't want to let Faf du Plessis get set here. Take a look at this. Faf du Plessis off the back foot, just easing it past point for that NCL Super 4. I think you need to bring on a spinner here. Just try to get Faf du Plessis out of the pitch. The slowness of the pitch frustrate him a little bit. This way, he'll be enjoying himself.
Protection's just gone out. How good was Faf 3 days ago? It was just vintage, almost trademark du Plessis.
Well, it was a completely different surface. It was in the afternoon, but he really played well. Once again, we see pace on the ball is what he enjoyed. And once he was set, he just carved the spinners to all parts of the ground. He just laid into them, didn't he? There was no turn on offer. He got that brilliant 50, and he's looking to get one more this evening to take the Biratnagar Kings straight into that finals on the 13th of December.
Chance. Irie! He's hit again! Might have got home. He wants a look, though. Faf might just have been quick enough. And the last thing you want to do if you're Bashir Ahmed is run out Faf du Plessis. Let's get a look.
We have an umpire referral for run out. Give me the side on angle, please. Take it backward. I need to see whether bat is grounded. Take it backward. Couple of frames. Roll forward. Roll forward. Bat is grounded inside. I have a decision for the giant screen. My decision is not out. Repeat, not out.
Not this time for the Tiger. Quite brilliant piece of fielding, but du Plessis, the conditioning at 41 to have the speed and the presence of mind to stretch out there to just get home. Bashir Ahmed and du Plessis will have had their hearts in their mouths for more than a moment there. Another remarkable piece of fielding. Be well worth a second look. Goes down the ground. Mid-off is very wide, and du Plessis will get 4. Nicely played.
Well, this is meat and drink for Faf du Plessis. You don't want to give him pace on the ball. Again, error in line, in the length especially. And Faf du Plessis relishes this. There it is, just getting underneath that ball. All he needed to do is get it up and over the man at mid-off. We're still inside the first 6 overs in the power play. A couple of bounces into the boundary cushions. Well, I think he should just continue playing the way he plays normally with the gay abandon. There is that safety net. Should Biratnagar Kings lose this game, they still have that safety net of the qualifier too. So they should just play with gay abandon.
Know the immediate call. There's an awareness that the Royals fielding is swift. The Kings were outstanding in the first innings. They're catching, but how good is this from Irie?
Well, certainly really good, but how good is it from Faf du Plessis? At 41, he's beaten a 20-something throw. He thought he had his man, but not only is Faf du Plessis quick between wickets, he's also a good judge of the single.
Yeah, it was his backing up that enabled him to get home. But having already had a run out in this innings, well, it's always risky running one to Depender Singh Irie. And I've no doubt in the team meeting ahead of this game, the Kings will have been made acutely aware of it. Du Plessis, that man, the captain, the leader, the legend that he is, he holds the key to this chase. Good leg cutter. Great change up from the young bowler, Hemant Dami. It's 25 for 3.
Well, they're scrapping back here, the Kings, but they've got somewhere to go. They've lost some real big players early on. Heaslet without scoring. Guptill run out for 2. Butt without scoring. And now Avinash Bahara is introduced into the attack. Carlos, we said they were top heavy. Now the middle order need to come to the party.
The Royals at the halfway stage would have said we need at least 2 of the big 3. They've done that. They've added a 3rd for good measure. This is important partnership. Faf du Plessis with the experience. Bashir with a little bit of previous in this tournament already, bringing the game home from nowhere. Avinash Bahara, 7 games, 14 wickets. Good return.
Oh yes, how good is that?
Welcome Avinash. Shuffle down the track, free flow of the hands, all along the ground. Lots to love about that shot. The crowd has gone absolutely crazy again. You can't take your eyes off it. From the first innings, very first ball. The keeper up to the stump now as a reaction to the use of the feet.
Like it.
And we've seen teams go wide at Bashir Ahmad. That's what Bahara tried to do on the first occasion. He counteracted it by using his feet. But they've employed the 3rd deep on the boundary, so I can expect to see him continue to go wide, just with the extra protection in case it nicks with the keeper up the stump.
Yeah, good cricket. Yeah, that 3rd for the left-hander is very, very fine though. So Bahara can't afford to be too wide to allow Bashir Ahmed the square cut. No, it brings Faf du Plessis onto strike. And I watched Faf du Plessis play this form of the game. I cannot believe that he batted for 7.5 hours for 376 balls for 110 not out in a test match to save the test match for South Africa against Australia in Adelaide in 2012. An all-format player, a huge skill to be able to do that. Oh, how close. Mightily close.
Avinash Bahara just saw the finals. He literally thought the Bills were just picked. Just over. Oh my goodness. Did it go through the bill? Keeper, batter, bowler, everyone hands on head.
Chance in the deep. It'll take some catching. Down it goes. Down it goes. The man that everyone expects to hold on lets one go awry.
Disappointing. So disappointing. This is not an easy catch. We need to make that clear. This is not an easy catch. But if you are Dipendra Singh, if you are any Nepalese cricketer fan, is one man you want underneath that ball, and it is Dipendra Singh. Avinash Bahara thought he was gone for all money.
Now it's Kugeline's chance. No one. Again, leading a charmed life here, du Plessis. End of the 6th, 34 for 3. That's all okay. Just having a little look at the feet of Kugeline there to see if maybe stomped on the boundary Toblerones, but that's all okay. So the power play is completed now. The fielding restrictions no longer apply. Only 4 need to be inside that 30-yard circle, and Dipendra Singh Airi now is introduced into the attack. Du Plessis at the non-striker's end, and I'm pretty sure he'll be wanting to be at the striker's end here to face the off-spinner. Opportunities galore in the previous over.
This partnership needs to be broken. Faf du Plessis is the man you want. He thought he had top of off. Then it was in the air. Dipendra Singh Airi under it. Nepal down. Then the last ball, shimmy. New Zealand on this occasion with Kugelheim down. This time not dropped, out of the grasp. But Avinash Bahara felt he was oh so close to the wicket of Faf du Plessis on 3 different occasions.
Here we go again. Surely not a repeat of the other day.
Faf du Plessis, an absolute juggernaut. Picking up where he left off a few days ago. He targeted Dipendra Singh Airi. Dipendra Singh Airi dropped him last over, feels the brunt of the blade this over.
Just be a single. That's a skill in itself, isn't it, as a bowler, is to have a delivery that can get the batter you don't want on strike off strike.
So many times you speak about dot balls, but sometimes a single ball is more important than a dot ball. You get Faf du Plessis off strike and you try to get the last 2 deliveries in at Bashir Ahmad.
Has it been taken? Dipendra Singh Airi says it's carried. Bashir Ahmad is not waiting. That is a good catch.
What if one of those catches were taken? We spoke about him getting Faf off strike, bowling at the left-hander, creating the chance and taking it. That is the standard we're accustomed to from Dipendra Singh Airi. And the Royals have struck again, 4 down. Bashir Ahmad gone for 12, 42 for 4.
They're on top here, the Royals. They're on top. They could have been home if they'd have held on to some catches in the previous over. Now Lokesh Bam, who's done duty at the top of the order early on in the competition. Ironic, isn't it? From Sudur Pashim as well, Lokesh Bam, but now representing the Biratnagar Kings in this edition of the NPL. Is this their last hope here? I know that Pradesh GC and Marchant de Lange have contributed earlier in the competition with some big hitting, but there's a long way to go here. Du Plessis needs some support. Is he going to get it from Bam? A single to end the over, successful one for the skipper. 43 for 4. 7 overs gone, yeah, 43 for 4. Hard to believe that this is the same team, the Kings, who absolutely destroyed the Royals a couple of days ago. Well, this was a good catch.
Yeah, slowing it up on the length, deceiving him, the lack of pace. And a hard push from Bashir Ahmed. And it isn't the elaborate celebration that we've seen because there's so much riding on the game, one, but two, because he knew that he could have taken the catch of Faf du Plessis in the over before.
More left arm spin here, Milan Bahara. Well, they did manage to get du Plessis out in the previous match. Avinash Bahara, pace off. And it's been pace off that's led to those opportunities as well. One going over the bails, the other one a drop catch.
What he does really well as well, Avinash Bahara, is bowls wicket to wicket. And cricket is a game of cliches. You talk about they miss, you hit. He always keeps it within the general area of the stumps. Always forces the batter to make a decision. And if it's the wrong one, injudicious. He gets something in the right-hand column.
Right, so the Royals are desperate for a 5th wicket. So let's go downstairs and join Jess Crow.
I'm joined here by Dhruv Parashar. Dhruv, 4 wickets taken by the Royals so far, an excellent start. How's it going out there?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a very crucial match and we've gotten to a really good start. We thought maybe we were like 15 short with the bat, but I think the start we've got with the ball and how we've been in the field, I think we're in a good position to win this game. Obviously, it's T20 cricket, anything can happen, but I think we're in the driver's seat at the moment.
Of course, and now coming into these crucial matches then, how do you manage to keep the pressure under control?
I mean, obviously there's one, I would say personally for me, it's a new franchise, so there's a bit of nerves, and on top of that, the crowd as well. I mean, the crowd, it's still fine, I'm a bit used to it, but it's always, you're trying your best when you're playing for a new franchise because not everyone knows your game, so you're always trying to prove yourself.
And you've been the most successful team in the comp overall by far. What's been the driving factor to that success, do you think?
I think we've gelled really, really well as a unit from the first game onwards, and I think that's very important because it's a short competition and we don't have much time. It's, I think, only a 30-day competition. I think whichever team gels first and gels better would obviously be a successful team, and I think we've done that really well. It's obviously led by the management and the senior players in our team, so kudos to them.
Excellent. Well, great work. Thank you very much. All the best to you and the team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Back to comms.
Wicketless Jess Crow, 8 gone, 49 for 4. Well, it's been a discussion point, Carlos, and it does look as though there's a little bit of dew that's forming on the outfield here. He said that the back end of these evening games becomes a little bit tricky to handle this ball.
With ball in hand or in the field, a little bit of slipping and sliding firstly there, should have done better, but once it got into the outfield, you knew it was 2, just a matter of picking up, oops, maybe not, and then they turned 1 into 2 into 3. How important is it to ensure you gather the ball cleanly on a slippery surface and prevent extra runs from being taken? It's only 156 you're defending. You're ahead of the 8 ball, 49 for 4, but every run counts.
Oh, well, he's playing in a manner where you can't help thinking he's going to be there at the back end because it's going his way at the moment.
This is the epitome of riding your luck. More shots have been aerial, they've been close to fielders, they've kept fielders in the hunt. They've kept a dancing on mouths. You feel that though any moment Faf du Plessis can lose his wicket, but you also know the class of the man. At any moment he can flip a switch and he can win the game with the bat.
Chance taken, easy as you like. It's just holding a little bit in the surface. Batting's not easy. Bahara's done it again.
Avinash Bahara, the X Factor. Once again, another shot with the hand coming off the bat. Deceived by lack of pace and embraced by his skipper. The Royals sense the finals. Lokesh Bam gone for 5, half the side gone, 50 on the board.
Marianne Joshi returns to the starting lineup for this all-important game. And he's up against such a canny campaigner in Avinash Bahara. He looks so innocuous, but he delivers in virtually every single game. Little change in the field as Kugelheim's brought up from deep mid-wicket to save one, and fine leg is pushed back on the boundary and pretty square.
Avinash has been a real challenge, a real handful to face. Subtle changes of pace, rolling his fingers down the side of the ball. He's deceived Faf a couple of times. And as you say, it looks very innocuous. One thing we can say is the approach is very Jasprit Bumrah-like. Holding the ball in hand and shimmying from side to side as he runs in. Looks as though he's never really ready to run in the ball, and then all of a sudden, there goes. And I tell you what else he has that Jasprit Bumrah does. Impact, X Factor. Not the pace, but the skill and the guile.
He's only got one, but it feels as though he's got 3. There's been so many chances in the outer off the bowling of Bahara. Oh, they're going to steal another. They've been perfect with their ground fielding. And there's a little error. End of the 9th, 53 for 5. Aga Country Cement Golden Cap leaderboard, which showcases the tournament's leading wicket takers, and he's right up there now, Bahara, level with Sandeep Lamachani, who went wicketless this evening. They thought that they would just look after him, played him well. Still a few games to go here, and you can't help thinking that these two are going to really be in the shake-up in a couple of days' time. Harmeet Singh. 1 for 7 in his 2 overs. Brilliantly bowled. Now this fella does know how to make an impact.
Instant impact. Harmeet Singh, Deepinder Singh, a real good change. Bringing your international star into the game. Looking for a wicket, looking to finish things quickly. Naran Joshi gone for one. A spot of bother, a real spot of bother the Kings. 53 for 6. And it's time for the expert strategic timeout.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.
Well, the Royals fans are dominating the grandstands here at the TU. They left this ground a few days ago, sad, thinking, is this the end for their team? But they've risen today against their destroyers, the Biratnagar Kings. They well on top here after 9 overs. The Kings are 53 for 6. It's just one man that stands between them and a final, you might think, Carlos, and that would be Faf du Plessis, as he's joined by Pratish GC.
And they would think that he can stay at the other end. You only need 10 wickets, not 11. If they can get 10, 10 from the other end, they'd be happy for Heath staying. But he is the difference. And I just wonder if the Kings could have been a little bit more proactive before Lokesh Bam, before Naran Joshi. Could you have sent to Lamichani? Could you have sent to Marchant de Lange to take some pressure off Faf? Most of the wickets that we've seen fallen recently fall to defensive shots. So we know the standard plan of action would be rotate the strike, give Faf the strike, but it puts batters in a defensive mindset. You send Marchant de Lange or Sandeep Lamichhane or Pratish GC with a strike rate of 167, hit a couple boundaries, a couple sixes, all of a sudden your required run rate comes down to 8. You put yourself back in the zone. Is it an opportunity missed?
Well, that required rate is up at 9.5. This is the contest. Du Plessis versus Harmeet. I'm just wondering where he bowls this from. Harmeet Singh. No, I thought he had bowled it from a little bit further back. Just slides on, doesn't it? We saw during the drinks break Faf du Plessis indicating to his teammates that the ball's just holding a little bit. So the dew obviously not having an effect on the playing surface. As it carried. He hasn't even nicked it. It's just turned.
I just love the fact that his slip is in. They're really going in for the kill. Hit the hip. Thought he had him. I love this. I've loved the captaincy on show from Sandip Lamichhane firstly, and now Dipendra Singh Airi.
With the delivery remaining here from Harmeet, you can't think that du Plessis will take too many risks. He'll want to get to the other side and then sue his dish. During the break, deep conversation, du Plessis letting them all know this is what's happening. Nicely bowled, but played brilliantly in the end. So just a single to end the 10th. They're still in it while he's at the crease. 57 for 6.
The Biratnagar Kings need 99 in 60 deliveries, but it's the wickets column that's hurting them. And at the moment, it looks like it's Sudur Pashchim Royals versus Faf du Plessis and not the Biratnagar Kings. One man standing in the way of the boys in yellow who've been on top of things right from the start. Harmeet 2 wickets for him, and all of a sudden, that target of 150 plus looks so uphill and daunting. Great scenes here, great support. Very good evening, Fazal Khalil.
Very good evening, Mikhail. Very good evening to everyone watching this broadcast at a very interesting phase of the game. You mentioned rightly, it's that one man, Faf du Plessis, standing between victory and a place in the finals for the Sudur Pashchim Royals. What a great level of cricket is, isn't it, Mikhail? Just the other evening, they were completely outplayed, completely annihilated by the Biratnagar Kings, the Sudur Pashchim Royals, and suddenly the new day, new pitch, qualifier 1, pressure completely on, and now we see the men in yellow really with their tails up and looking with 1 foot already in that final. But stranger things have happened in the game. Faf du Plessis out there in the middle. Can he make the difference for the Biratnagar Kings?
Quite impressed by him and Dhami. Watch out for a slow one, the leg cutter. Very deceptive. Yeah, talk about that leg cutter. Just rolls his fingers on that seam. So beautifully he disguises it. Foxed even Pratish GC, who himself employs these kind of tricks.
Well, you do need flashes of brilliance when you want to get somebody like Faf du Plessis out. But just take a look at this. The best fielder in the country was underneath this a little while earlier. Dipendra Singh Airi, by his standards, that's an absolute sitter. And he will be really ruining this should the Biratnagar Kings win the game. A big moment in the game that was.
Yeah, rare blip there for Dipendra Singh Airi, but could always trust him to just get into the redemption act as well. Never misses the stumps with direct hits, but he's dropped a couple in this tournament, especially the one that's been going away from him.
Well, it's always difficult under the lights. You're running back, looking over your shoulder. It's not easy, but the kind of levels that Dipendra Singh Airi sets for himself, that's the reason why I say that was a relatively easy catch.
Great stuff behind the stumps there by Binod Bhandari. Once again, the slower leg cutter. Didn't pick it up here. Faf du Plessis.
Well, really good bowling this. We know that he will bowl the one that comes in, but look at the variety that he has. The back of the hand, slower delivery, just went like a leg spinner. Not a real fan of the wicketkeeper standing up to the stumps because Faf du Plessis is not using his feet, Mikhail. You don't want the edge to go begging. And I'm sure the wicketkeeper is really confident of himself. And I think the bowler wants him up so that Faf du Plessis can be back in his crease.
lost his shape. Great opportunity here, and it's been pouched. Sheldon Jackson with the catch, and Hemant Dhami there with the big fish. Big moment in the game, and is this the match as well?
Well, they'll be really hurting now, the Biratnagar Kings. The pressure getting to a international quality player like Faf du Plessis. Just couldn't get going in this innings. Let's take a look at the bat, just turning in his hands. It didn't go where he wanted it to. The outside edge carrying to Sheldon Jackson, who's actually a wicket keeper, so he has a safe pair of hands. All he needed to do was get underneath that ball, keep his head firm, which means the end for Faf du Plessis for 36 of 29. With it, perhaps the hopes of the Biratnagar Kings. They are 59 for 7 now.
A couple of nights ago, the Biratnagar Kings had the better of the Sudur Paschim Royals. They went on to win by 6 wickets and 49 balls. And today they've only managed 59 in the first 11 overs. It's been that kind of a game where it looks like the boys in yellow are very politely returning the favour, Fazal.
Marshan Dilanga out there in the middle. What can he do with that big bat of his? Really good end to the over this. Oh, there's going to be trouble. There's another wicket here. Wicket number 8 this for the Biratnagar Kings goes down. Pratish GC will be making that walk back. Take a look at the Sudur Paschim Royals fielders. They're in a huddle already. They know they've got their man. What a feeling this for Deependra Irie and his boys in yellow.
And I'll tell you what, Binod Bhandari.
Roll forward, roll forward. Wickets are broken, batter is outside the crease. I have a decision for the giant screen. My decision is out, repeat, out.
Very naughty Binod Bhandari, very cheeky Binod Bhandari. But he's had the wood on Pratish GC over here, who walks back for 3. Absolute catastrophe here for the Biratnagar Kings. They've caved in. 59 for 8 after 11. Well, stunned and shaken are the Biratnagar Kings and their fans as well. Such has been the way things have played out this evening. And in the 12th over, the captain Sandeep Lamichhane has walked out with 97 needed in 54. Who would have thought at the halfway stage this chase would become so horribly wrong for Lamichhane and his boys.
Well, that's the reason why I'm a big fan of these playoffs. A big team, a good team like Biratnagar Kings, one bad day will be knocked out of the tournament if it's a knockout. Since it's a playoff scenario, they will have one more bite of the cherry when they take on the winner of the eliminator. Let's take a look at this. Absolute communication lapse there. Pratish GC had no business to keep looking at the ball. Marshan Dilanga had called, but like you rightly mentioned now, that's down the track. That'll go just over the outstretched hands of Scotty Kugelheim. 6 very, very needed runs for the Biratnagar Kings.
Yeah, trust Martin de Lange to play golf instead of cricket at this stage now. He'll just throw his bat at everything. Kugelheim almost getting his fingers to it. Yeah, what a match. Just want to believe. That the boys in yellow are slowly but surely making it to the final as well in this contest. What a lovely little puzzle this playoff serves as.
Well, it does give the Biratnagar Kings another opportunity day after tomorrow, and that's so they're driving home much like we do every day. Omoda and Jeko's new J5, the real SUV with best in segment specs. It's really all electric and really beautiful. It's got all the bells, it's got all the whistles, much like the Sudur Paschim Royals do this evening.
Playoffs. You spoke about the Biratnagar Kings having another bite at the cherry, but ideally you just want to keep biting it first up and get to the final. Like Sudur Paschim Royals will be feeling really good this evening.
Well, they certainly deserve to be there. They must have been really hurting the other evening. They got annihilated at the hands of the men in blue, but they came out all guns blazing. That's in the air as well. Will just elude the fielders at point and third. Just the single, like you said, Marshall de Lange swinging for the fences here. And just make a couple of good connections just to keep the crowd interested. But I think it's a little too late for the Biratnagar Kings. 88 to 49 with just 2 in the hut is not going to hold them in good stead. Harmeet Singh, how well has he bowled? He's in the cusp of ending a very, very good spell. 2 for 20. Could he make it 3 for 20?
Yeah, it's all just slipping away at the moment from the Biratnagar Kings. That asking rate 11, 2 wickets left, 68 for 8. 8 overs left.
Well, it's been a very slippery slide, isn't it, from the get-go. They lost a wicket at the very first delivery. The second went down for 3, the third went down at 3. They were 5 for 50, 6 for 53, 8 for 59. So they've been completely outdone by a very superior Sudur Paschim Royals. They look like a real well-oiled machine today to the Sudur Paschim Royals. They've done a lot of work. Well, just take a look at some of the wickets that have fallen, Mikhail. It was just very superior bowling by Scotty Kugelheim to start with. It was quick, it was straight, hit the splice of the bat. That was the first wicket of Hazlett. And then this run out. I mean, this was really the turning point of the innings. Martel Guptill just completely was outdone. And then Narayan Bhatta was gone for the first delivery. So they were 3 down for next to nothing, and to come back from there chasing a score of 155 on a surface such as this will take some character. Unfortunately, didn't work for the Biratnagar Kings this evening. They are getting a few runs at the back end of the innings, but is it just too late for the Biratnagar Kings?
Yeah, they can only delay the inevitable unless a miraculous innings here from both these batters come through, or a partnership, but highly unlikely. You could always sense that Martin de Lange will present you with opportunities when trying to force the issue this evening. What an outing if you're a Sudur Paschim Royals fan, Fazil.
Well, I don't know, Mikhail, whether I'm thinking correctly here, but if I were Dipendra Singh Airi, I would ask someone like Harmeet Singh and Scott Kugelheim to just take it easy. It's rather cool out there. I don't want them to, geez, it's just the wheels really falling off the wagon for the Biratnagar Kings. Some really good bowling by Harmeet Singh. Got that one to come in with the arm and reducing them to 74 for 8. So I tell Scotty Kugelheim to just perhaps take it easy. Don't stretch yourself too much. Because it's a cold evening, don't stretch those hamstrings of yours. Keep yourself in good shape for the final. They get that extra day's rest as well now. They'll get 2 days off. They can take it easy, prime themselves, plan for the finals. No matter who comes, Sudur Paschim Royals are really looking good. And that was a big one of Faf du Plessis. Sheldon Jackson, who's flown in from India for this game. And that's the unfortunate run out, but Pratish GC had no business turning around and waiting for Martian Delanga. He should have run instantly, but just a little too cute perhaps was Binod Bhandari there, who just had the bails off at the right time, in the nick of time.
Swing and a big miss. And that's how much of a miss it's been for the Biratnagar Kings. Yeah, that recovery was never really on. 3 for 3 Fazal. It's very difficult in a big chase on a big occasion like this.
Well, it's like losing 3 or 4 games and trying to come back into the T20 tournament. It's always going to be difficult, if not impossible. But today, just very superior was the Sudur Paschim Royals. Well, just take a look at the crowd. Just come in droves in huge numbers. The tickets completely sold out until the finals. And the finals are complete sellout. There's the man. He's a very important cog in this wheel for the Sudur Paschim Royals. I would tell him to just take it easy if I were the captain. Don't stretch those sinews too much.